Excuse me, are you Adam Graham?
The very same. And this is my old-time radio snack wagon.
Welcome to the Old-Time Radio Snack Wagon, where we serve up a bite-sized portion of old-time radio. And now, here's your Snack Wagon host, Adam Graham.
Today we are serving up a quiz show and a rare recording of it. Noah Webster Says was a radio quiz program that aired over radio off and on between 1940 and 1949. It was hosted by Haven McQuarrie, who also hosted the program So You Want to Be an Actor. Judge was Professor Charles Lindsay of Occidental College, who would determine whether the contestants had given an answer that was close enough to accurate in order to be correct, at least according to what Noah Webster says. Now, this recording was likely from 1953, as there's a reference to the show being on television. Likely this is a trial run, as McQuarrie would end up deciding to produce, but not ultimately host the TV version of Noah Webster Says, which would air for 10 months on TV station KTTV in Los Angeles. Now, here's an excerpt of Noah Webster Says.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye, what Noah Webster says. And now may we introduce tonight's first guest, who is a very attractive young lady whose name is...
Miss Nita Alvarado.
Nita Alvarado.
Mm-hmm.
Well, where are you from, Miss Alvarado?
From La Crescenta, California.
La Crescenta. Gee, that sounds pretty nice in Spanish all the way around, doesn't it?
Yes, it is.
Are you of Spanish extraction?
Yes, I am.
Incidentally, may I have those cards
Surely.
before we get them all... one of these may be yours, ladies and gentlemen, because the members of our panel drew them from our large tub of Noah Webster Says cards just before airtime, and we'll be contacting one of you by telephone in just a couple of minutes. Barney, thank you very much. Well, now, Miss Alvarado from La Crescenta, what do you do?
Well, I'm an employee of Trans World Airlines, TWA.
Oh, are you?
Yes.
Well, welcome, because up to now, this is probably the only quiz program on television, the members of which didn't arrive by means of one of Trans World Airlines' famous 300-mile-an-hour constellations.
That's correct. We're very proud of the company because they were the first to inaugurate nonstop service to New York recently using super constellations.
Is that so?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's very interesting
Very
information.
proud of that company.
How long have you been with the company?
I've been with them a little over 5 years.
Is that so? And what actually is your job with TWA?
Well, I'm in public relations there. I work with news releases.
And that's why you're particularly proud of the super constellation.
Very.
What is that interesting little propeller pin you're wearing?
Well, this is our 5-year pin, and we're entitled to wear it after we've been with the company 5 years. After we've been there 25 years, we get a diamond.
And after 50 years, you get a super constellation.
That's right.
Well, Nita, thank you very much. We're very happy to welcome you to Noah Webster Says. This is a game of defining words we all should know, you know, and I think maybe that all of you friends of TWA and all of Miss Alvarado's friends will be very interested in knowing that the list wins a check for $5 from Mrs. Clara Dardley of Modesto, California. And it calls for you to sort of join me in a trip through a June bride's new home. It's a little early for that, but are you willing to go?
Very willing.
All right, for $1, a bottle of NaPH-THA. Could you pronounce it for me? NaPH.
Naphtha. Naphtha soap.
Did you get that a P sound or an F sound?
Naphtha. N-A-P.
NaPH-THA.
Naphtha. Naphtha.
All right, suppose we call it naphtha, and you tell me what it is, if you will.
Naphtha.
How do you get the spots off your clothes, if you should have
Cleaning fluid or spot remover?
Professor.
Webster says the correct pronunciation for NaPH-THA is naphtha, and it is a cleaning fluid, a solvent in dry cleaning. Correct.
All right, Miss Alvarado. Now, for $2 more, we're ushered into the kitchen to admire the new cutlery. What would that be?
Cutlery would be silverware or the things you use, the utensils you use to cook with.
How about...
like forks and spoons and things like that. Knives.
Professor. I didn't think you'd ever
knives.
answer that.
Implements for use in cutting, serving, and eating food, correct?
All right, Miss Alvarado. Now, for $3 more, the new bride shows the master bedroom and displays an attractive counterpane. Counterpane. What is a counterpane?
Well, sounds like something to do with the window, however,
I think, well, the pane may have something to do with the window or the groom. You can't tell. I don't know whether we can, we haven't really covered much of this yet, have we?
Is it bedspread or?
Professor, is it a bedspread or...
Well, it's a coverlet, and bedspreads cover beds, therefore it's correct.
All right. All right, Miss Alvarado. For $4 more now, the proud groom, meanwhile, is in the living room showing a new hassock. Hassock, hassock. So what is a hassock?
Well, it's a leather cushion, sort of like one a friend of mine brought me from Cairo just recently, aboard a TWA Super Connie.
Oh, I figured that would probably be the way it got here.
You watch television on it, sit down, sort of a leather cushion idea.
Professor?
Noel Webster Says hassock is a small stuffed cushion used as a footstool or under the knees while praying. As Cooper once said, knees and hassocks are well-nigh divorced. The answer's right.
All right. And came by way of the Orient via TWA Super Constellation. Well, now we come to that rather serious pause. It isn't too serious, Miss Alvarado, but you've won $10, which you may take and retire, or you may take a crack at $50. Which would you like to do?
Well, I'd like to try.
All right. For $50 and in 15 seconds, will you please define this last word? Dinner's being served with a Zoom in her well-appointed dining room, and the bride is showing her most cherished wedding present, a credenza, spelled Credenza. So what is a credenza?
Well, it's sort of like an open shelf or something that you put dishes or books or something on it. Kind of an ornamental buffet type thing.
Professor?
Noel Webster Says credenza, a kind of sideboard, elaborate cupboard, or buffet. Correct.
Well, Miss Alvarado, there's your $50 bill. Thank you very much for joining us on Noel Webster Says, and stand by, please, for our final exam. Now, here is contestant number 4, if you will please step up, sir. Fourth contestant, and your name is?
Al Hildring.
Al Hildring. And where are you from, Mr. Hildring?
From the West Indies, originally.
Oh, is that right? Which island in the West Indies?
Curaçao.
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 Well,
yes.
that has a very romantic, thirst-quenching name, doesn't it? What brought you to the North American continent?
Well,
TWA?
No. I've been away from there a long time.
Oh, I see. What do you do, sir?
I inspect ammunition for the Army.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now that should get you around the country, even perhaps unexpectedly at times.
Well, it does occasionally.
How did you happen to get into a business such as that?
Well, through the recommendation of acquaintances in similar work.
Mm-hmm. You didn't answer an ad that said, "Inspector of ammunition wanted, must be prepared to travel."
No, sir.
I see. All right. We want to welcome you to our Fun with Words game, sir. This list wins a $5 check for Mr. H. Weiss of Wilmington, California, and it calls for you to define 5 very interesting words pertaining to zoology. Are you interested in zoology at all?
Not particularly.
Well, then maybe we better change to one about ammunition. Well, let's go to work on this one anyway. For $1, the washing bear is the most fastidious animal according to legend. It washes all of its food, so for $1, could you give us a guess at what the washing bear would be?
Well, a raccoon.
Professor?
Washing bear, the raccoon. Very good.
All right, sir. Now, Al, for $2 more, the cheetah holds the record for celerity. And your word is celerity, spelled Celerity, celerity.
Speed.
Professor?
Rapidity of motion, swiftness, speed. Very good.
All right, sir. All right, Al, for $3 more, the giraffe is unique among mammals for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons is that it is aphonic, spelled Aphonic. So what is your definition, please, for aphonic?
Soundless.
Professor?
Noel Webster Says aphonic, having no sound or pronunciation, voiceless or non-vocal. Very good again.
All right, Al, for $4 more now, the penguin, although it can swim, is a non-volatant bird. Your word to define is the adjective non-volatant, spelled Nonvolitant, non-volatant.
Unable to fly.
Professor?
Noah Webster says non-volatile, not able to fly. Exact quotation. Good.
When did you come up here from the West Indies, Al?
Well, it's been... I didn't come directly here. I went to Europe first and stayed there for my early education.
Were you you trained in some special way for this job you now hold?
Only by the Army itself.
I see. Well, I think the service has trained a great many of us in the inspection of ammunition at one time or another. How long have you been working at this sort of thing?
3 years.
3 years.
Yes, sir.
What does your inspection do? I mean, is it you don't expect it if it doesn't happen to fire? Do you have to find out why it doesn't?
No. I only work with ammunition before it's live ammunition.
Oh, that's the nicest way to do
inert.
it, I think.
Inert ammunition.
Inert ammunition, Professor? Oh, well, Al, we better move along here now. This is a very interesting story, and I'd like to pursue it further, but perhaps you would like to pursue your quest for $50 a little further, would you not?
I'd like to try.
All right, sir, for a $50 bill, and in 15 seconds, would you please define this final zoological question? A bat, the mammal I'm speaking of, is a volatile animal. So how would you define volatile, spelled V-O-L-A-T-I-L-E, in this sense, volatile?
Inflammable?
Volatile. V-O-L-A-T-I-L-E.
Flying?
Professor?
In this sense, passing through the air on wings, having the power to fly. Very good.
Well, having the power to fly is flying. Thank you very much, Al. Please stand by for our final exam, which will be coming up in just a matter of minutes. Speaking of our final exam, tonight's jackpot is worth $60, and our final exam word, should our members, all of the members of our panel, define it correctly, that $60 will be divided equally among them. Those members who do define it correctly, if not all of them do, will split the $60 jackpot. Part of our jackpot, I may explain to all of our Noah Webster Says friends, is being divided also including our home study assignment every week. And now, Dr. Lindsley, what is tonight's final exam jackpot word for which our contestants will write the definition on that sheet of paper?
The word tonight is a term, spelled with capital letters, capitalized, Spanish Main.
You have 30 seconds. Go. What is Spanish Main? There's the buzzer. That means that time is up. And now, Patty, if you will collect the papers, we'll turn them over to Dr. Lindsley. Thank you very much. Now, there's a very attractive addition to our program, I believe. Thank you, Pat. And now, Dr. Lindsley will be checking our contestants' definitions for Spanish Main against what Noah Webster says. All right. Here are the answers to tonight's final exam jackpot question. Paper number 1. Spanish Main means a ship used by Spain. Contestant number 2, Spanish Main means waters controlled by Spain when in power. Contestant number 3, Spanish Main means a pirate boat. Contestant number 4, Spanish Main means the area of Spanish islands. And Dr. Lindsley, what does Noah Webster say for Spanish Main?
Noah Webster says Spanish Main, the mainland of Spanish America, especially the northern coast of South America. And I would have to rule that the answers were not close enough to warrant an adjudication in this case.
Well, thank you very much, Professor. And I'm very sorry that the members of our panel didn't define it correctly. That means that, of course, our $60 jackpot will be carried over and more of Uncle Sam's loot will be added to it next week.
Welcome back. An interesting quiz show. It did seem like on that last contestant they needed to stretch time a bit, which would be why McQuarrie started doing an extended interview, even though he'd finished that and moved on to the question. It's a rare show for those who are interested in words and their meanings. And for McQuarrie, education and having a good time were the real point. With a $50 prize, even in 1950, that's a nice hour's work, but it's not life-changing money. One article I stumbled on from 1947 said contestants rarely lost and that McQuarrie would give away free hints until they got it. Noah Webster Says, strive to be a good-natured show where both the audience and the contestant left a little happier and wiser. It's time for me to close up the old snack wagon, but don't worry, we'll be back with another serving of old-time radio goodness before you know it. If you want to enjoy some of our longer-form podcasts, you can feast away at my website at greatdetectives.net. Your emails are also welcome at adam@snackwagon.net.
The Old Time Radio Snack Wagon comes to you from Boise, Idaho. Your host is Adam Graham. Sound production is by Rhines Media, LLC. You can listen to past episodes of the Old Time Radio Snack Wagon as well as connect on social media at our website at snackwagon.net. Email suggestions for episodes to adam@snackwagon.net. This has been the Old Time Radio Snack Wagon.
Until next time, goodbye.